Hello everybody, Rebels of Cloud9 here, and Happy New Year. It's January 1st. I don't know when I'll be uploading this, but it is the 1st of January. This is going to be the first model I'm going to build this year. I want to build something fun, and this is a kit I have been hunting for, and I finally found it. I'm so excited, and it is the Bandai 1/1000 scale Space Battleship Yamato. And it's from the Star Blazers 2199 series, or Yamato 2199. I don't really like the name Star Blazers. I think it's a little compared to, Space Battleship Yamato. The Star Blazers just doesn't match up to me. That's just me. But yeah, I've wanted this kit for a while now. Because it's 1/1000 scale, it fits, all those other Star Trek ships that are coming out. And I just always thought it'd be fun to have, as many models in the same scale as you can get. And so this is, yeah, in the same scale. And they did come out with one more, and I believe you would just call it a refit version. I don't know exactly. But it's a very, very great looking kit from Bandai. Don't buy too many Bandai, but now I've found a way to get Bandai kits. They're kind of more elusive here where I am until recently. There's a comic book store that orders in Bandai, and I went up and asked them, I said, where do you get your Bandai kits from? And they basically told me this website where they order them from, and that if I had any kits on that website that I wanted, they could get them in. And thankfully, that website had the Yamato and a whole bunch of other Star Blazer stuff. So I'm very, very excited about that because this is a beautiful kit. One really weird thing, I guess I should put this, let me put the top back on here. This is kind of weird but pretty cool. And I can't read the Japanese, so I don't know why this is here. But on the bottom, you get this little box that you have to build. And this is part of the Mecha collection of ships. And I believe this is part of the first ones from the 70s. So you have to build this cool little box here. And you have a bonus Mecha kit. So I'm pretty excited about that. And they do have some Mecha stuff on their website. So I'm kind of going to go, I think I'm going to go all out on this Bandai stuff. So the first sprues that we get here are sprue G, and it's all the turrets and barrels and stuff like that. And they're very nice and cleanly molded, and they've given you this kind of raised border here to protect them, and I really like that. I just go through that little bit of extra work there. So let's open up the bags now. My apologies for the loud crinkling. I know how this stuff just somehow becomes louder when you hear it on the microphone. I don't know why. Oh, that new Bandai smell. Right, so here's the little mecha ship. I'm not sure which ship this is. I'm still learning more and more about the show and slowly watching it upon, all the other 50 shows I'm trying to watch at the same time. But this is pretty darn cool. I really like these. Greg at stevethefish.net, he's done a review of a bunch of these, and they always seem to be very appealing to me. As just fun little kits, and it has this nice little display stand here. You can just build, paint, and set on your desktop. It's like, that's a perfect kit, So I don't know if I'm going to build that one or just kind of leave it in the box, because I kind of like that. So here's part of this is all the guns, main cannons here, and here's the front of the wave motion gun there, and all the barrels, at least the big ones here, the main barrels, they have all the holes drilled out. That's really cool. I guess not drilled out, but molded out. which is just a nice touch. And let's see here. Come on. Alright, so this is the only thing of a sticker or a decal that you get in the entire kit. And it's just this Space Battleship Yamato, listed several times. This goes on the display stand. And yeah, they give you a couple nice options here, but this is all you get. Usually Bandai, you know, they're pretty heavy into stickers, sometimes decals, but usually decals they seem to come with their bigger kits or more expensive kits, but for this one you don't get anything like that. You just get this little for the nameplate, which is not bad. And then as you can see, the bottom half of the hull comes pre-colored in red, but looks pretty good. Again, all the detail on this model is just exceptional. It's beautiful, crisp and clean, and it smells really wonderful. It's weird. I know you're thinking, Rebels of Cloud 9, you're having a stroke or something, or you've really gone off the deep end this time, but they actually just smell really pleasant. It's kind of weird. But yeah, that's great. It's kind of a complicated assembly, but it's not too bad. I see their thinking behind it, and I like it. And this is all the little starships, or starfighters, and a couple of the other little details on here. And so these kind of go on a carousel all together. So there's some that go on you have to paint on the top here, and then others you put here on the bottom. It's a pretty cool little system they have, and the detail on the ships here is amazing. I mean, wow, for 1000 scale there is way too much detail. You know, it's like I need a set of micro brushes to get this stuff down properly. And then got a couple more turrets and other little accessories on there. And the only clear parts, there's I think 4 of them here. So we have the bridge. This is for the bridge. This is for the top. I believe it's like the captain's quarters, I think you'd call it. Wave motion gun, and this is part of the engine, because I believe you could light it up. I'm not going to, but I believe they give you kind of that as an option. Clear parts aren't really 100% necessary on this, so I'm just going to paint over them. And here we go, more the hull. Molded in this dark blue-gray. This is one of the cool things. There's a channel called The Painting Clinic, and he built this kit. He did a really fantastic job at building it. And normally I don't watch people's builds of a model that I'm building because I don't want to be influenced by anything that they have. You know, I like to watch it on my own after I've done finished building it. But I don't know. He never talked about a whole bunch of the stuff that comes in this kit, and I don't remember, but he didn't mention a display stand. I think he said he didn't have a display stand, and he had to buy one. So they give you these 2 pieces here on the side of the ship, and this one here is for a Gundam display. And it's a pretty cool little unit, and you can go check his out. Again, it's the Painting Clinic. It's pretty easy to find, and again, or you can just type in 1/1000 scale Yamato, and you'll find it there. But yeah, this one comes with the display stand. He never mentioned the little mecha kit at all, so I'm wondering if I got a different one than him, possibly. I'll have to go and rewatch that video again, but man, just terrific. And then here's the top of the deck. So it's going to be kind of a big model, which I'm really happy about. And the way he painted his, I really, really like it. He had a cool idea for kind of Aztecing the hull. And I've seen a couple other people do it, but the way he did it, it really works for that model. Or I guess for this model. Da, da, da. And here's the bridge. All other bits and pieces here. Bandai really goes through the works to make really just nice kits. So when you buy them, you take them off the sprue and you build them, and they're going to fit. That's always just a great benefit of buying, kits from companies like Bandai and Tamiya and Fine Mold and a bunch of these other guys. And this is the final piece of the kit. And yeah, I don't remember Ian talking about this, so I have to go watch it again. This is a really cool feature that you get in the kit. Here's the big old display stand here, and you get this kind of a carousel here, or Ferris wheel, what have you. And this is where all the fighters go on. And these are parts here for the engine. You build the engine, and you can take away half of the hull and look inside and see all this cool detail. So I don't know if it works as it's a snap or if it's removable. I'm going to have to wait and see when I get there, but I'm very curious about that. I'm hoping it kind of just comes on and off, but I've actually got a box of earth magnets, so if I need to, I can make it removable, which is what I'd like to do, because I'd like to see, inside the detail. But there's nothing worse than having a piece falling off, when you're holding it or showing it off to someone else. So the next one we get here is the instructions. Now, these instructions are really nicely done. They're all Japanese, but they're very, very descriptive. So you just have to pay a bit extra attention, and you're gonna get it. No problem. So here we have our parts layout, and here we have kind of the instruction on what they're telling you, how to remove the sprues. And here we have, they're making the hull here. And it's just, again, very cleanly, very nicely worded and molded. And here you have like part C12, so you look for sprue C, and sprue B, part number 8. So it's very clearly organized, and you're not going to have any problems with it, I think. And here they are. They've got a picture of the completed model and some reference materials on how to paint it. Here's how you paint the Cosmo fighters, what the turrets look like. I like that. The missile launcher smokestack. I just think that's kind of a cool idea. Sounds like something a U-boat would do, So, yeah, now we're going to build all the little guns. Oh yeah, and here's the Gundam stand option. And what I understand, they did sell it like this as like a limited edition, but that's a very hard kit to find. And then here we have more of the display stand. So it looks like you can take it out. Like, I'm not sure how this works, because it doesn't say if this is an option or what. But it looks like this comes out, and then it has like a little minor display stand for all the fighters. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to just like glue these in here, and just so you can take off the base there and look at it. So I'm not sure if it's removable yet. I'm gonna figure that out, when I get there. And on the back is a paint guide, and yeah, they have Yamato paints for this, and I could order them, but I'm just gonna stick with the Tamiya paints that I've got. They're pretty close to this, so I'm not too worried. And then there's instructions here, how to paint all the little fighters, how to paint all this stuff. And I believe these are all Gunzi colors. I don't know, because it doesn't quite say. But the last one that we get is pretty cool. Now, this is beautiful little poster just right here. And you can actually see everyone, in the deck. Or in the, not the deck, the bridge. It's just pretty cool. Beautifully detailed picture. I'd love to have that as a poster. And we flip it open here, and we have a catalog. So here's the one that I just got. And I'd like to get this Cosmo Fleet 1, set 1 here. That looks pretty darn fun. And my brother, my younger brother, he's been interested in some of these too. He likes this one, the Cosmo Fleet set 2. He really wants that one for some reason, which is kind of cool, because he's, over the holidays, he got the, my older brother, Chris, bought him the Star Destroyer, the AMT Star Destroyer, and my little brother has been going to town building that thing. I've never seen him take a kit like that before. That wasn't a figure. And here's the 500 scale Yamato. He wants that one, but he wants me to build it for him, which is pretty cool. So you might see that in the near future, to be honest, because he's very serious about that one. And yeah, this Cosmo Falcon, I really love the look of this thing. I'm definitely gonna pick one of those up. It's a wicked looking fighter. So cool. And let's open this up. Oh, and most of these are 1/1000 scale. Like these ones and the Gamilla are 1/1000 scale, and like the fighters down here at the bottom, they're 72nd scale. But the Yamato is 500 scale. And this is really cool. I love this. This is a full-sized print of how big the ship is in 500 scale. So she's pretty darn big. I'm pretty excited to get to do that. And the other half, he wants it. He wants it because it's big, and the other half is I found a lighting kit for it that I'm going to buy for it. Whenever that is. It's out of stock currently right now. But this is the other thing. They have a couple of the characters. And this is kind of one of the things that's bugging me about the series. It's the skin-tight uniforms on the female officers. And it's just like, why? I don't know, maybe that's just me. But whatever. I'm going to go and start building the kit. But yeah, this is going to be a terrific, really, really fun model to do. Like I said, been hunting for this one for a while, and it's hard to find it either in stock or without an outrageous shipping fee, and now I finally got one. So, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next little section here. So I built this little part here. This is pretty cool. I can't remember what they call this, but it's like a kind of like emergency chute that the little ships can fly into, and it closes up like that. It's pretty cool. I think on the box, maybe for the 500 scale, they actually have one of the Cosmo Falcons like sitting on here. And if I have enough room, I'm gonna leave one on there just so I can go. There's one. I think that's just kind of cool. Nice little addition. But yeah, I got them for the most part. I've got it built here, and let's put this together. So this one goes there. I need this. This is a terrific kit. I really can't get over just how nice this whole model fits together. I think it goes this way. Yeah, it does. Okay. So let's stick that there. So they did a live action version of the movie, and that was actually the first one that I watched because it was the first one that I found, and I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. I thought they did a pretty nice job with it, given what they had to work with. I later learned that they were kind of under budgeted in the special effects department, but they did a really good job. It was a very fun movie. I ended up buying it on Blu-ray so I could watch it in better quality, than on YouTube here, and that one had English dubbing on it, which was awesome. I know there's a lot of people that get mad about, you know, English dubbing and stuff like that, but for me personally, I like English dubbing because I don't have to read, and I end up feeling like I'm missing parts of the movie when I'm reading. So I'm filling in all these little seam lines in here so I can just kind of press them together. And because it's red plastic, it's not going to take to itself that well. But Bandai's kind of worked around that. You know, a lot of companies, you know, where you get different colored plastics, they don't bond that nice. But Bandai has been like the one exception to that rule, where they still seem to work, you know, well, given everything. So it seems to fit pretty darn well. And then this fits, kind of slides into here, like so. Oh, okay. Oh, right. Okay, that gap is supposed to be there. This gap is where the stand goes, that additional stand that you can have. Okay, so this fits here, and then this fits here. This is quite complicated, like engineering wise, but man, it fits like perfectly. That's amazing. That is utterly amazing. How beautiful. What a fit. Man, oh man. I can't get over that. So then the last one, I'm going to tidy up, you know, gluing that in a second here, is this goes, I think, like this. No, oops, like that. Derp. And I just pushed that all out of place. Does it fit just like that? So I guess there's kind of a bit of a barrier ring around it. Not sure. Oh yeah, there is. Okay. So there's supposed to be kind of a gap right there. I didn't think there was. But that's about how big it is. Man. It's pretty big for 1/1000 scale. Awesome. So yeah, I'm going to go tidy this up. I'm going to make sure these fits are just a little bit more snug. I'm going to glue in all the seam lines and stuff like that. And yeah, again, it's beautiful, beautiful fit. Really fun model, guys. If you're looking for something sci-fi, you just want a simple build, this is definitely going to be up your alley. I wasn't considering ever getting the other one, the kind of refit version, but after building this, I'm kind of thinking about it. But probably by the time I'm done this, I'll be burnt out and only ready for the 500 scale one whenever my brother gets that one to me here. But really, really cool. Alright, so I'm not still too sure of how they want this to fit, but this doesn't exactly, it kind of snaps in place, but at the same time it kind of doesn't. But man, I'm having a hard time getting this all out here. So this pops out, and then this pops out, but you're supposed to put a beam on here. So there you can see the inside, but man, it's hard to do. Now, one thing I gotta mention is the fit of it is really good. They got a really they got the fit of the model down pretty much perfect. Like, I have yet to have pieces with problems. The only problem with it is the gaps on it. There are quite a few gaps in it. So, like, there's a piece right here, and it fits perfect, fits perfect, fits perfect. There's a bit of a gap right here. So I have to fill that in I'm going to try just filling it in with the extra thin cement, but if not, I'm going to have to use some putty. Like here, is pretty thick, and I might just fill it in and then rescribe the line. And same thing here. And this one's just a bit thick, but I think that'll be fine with just some more cement. The bad ones are right here. This one right here. I mean, that's a huge gap. And it's the same on the other side. So those ones I'm going to definitely fill in. And but for the most part, it's very good fit. So I'm not quite sure, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm gonna leave these off. Like, I'm not gonna glue them on, except when I get to it. This one I think I will glue permanently, and I think I might leave this one off as like as magnetized, so I can just pull it off like that. And you could see quite a bit of the inside of there. You know, you can of course see more like that. So I'm not quite sure yet what I'm going to do. I might build the carousel just to see how it fits in here, which is probably what I should do. At least maybe not put the fighters on, but just see how it's supposed to fit in here, and get all of that down. So there's quite a bit more work to do in me getting fits and stuff right, and then I'll start working on the bridge and all the other little parts like that. So I've got my work cut out for me, but for the most part, it's still an incredibly well put together and designed kit that I'm terribly thrilled about so far. So let's get to it. Alright, my desk is a huge, horrible mess. You can see I have parts all over the place. I started working on the 1000 scale Yamato, and I filled in a lot of places, sanded them all down because there was a gap, and so they're all filled in and it looks pretty good, so I'm quite happy with that. And I'll probably just give it a polish once more before I move on to priming it. But what I did, and this took me forever to do, is I added in this hole here, and this is the new display stand. So there's a rod, copper rod, that goes from here to about here in the front. I took the Polar Lights display base. I got another copper tube that was smaller, and it's bent in a zigzag like that, and it goes through the base and cradles on the top here, so now it can't move from side to side, which is awesome. And I'm just going to show you guys this because I'm pretty excited about this. This looks really awesome, much better. So this was the old the old display base like that, and you set it on here. Fine enough if that's what you want, but I want it to be a little more dramatic, and so you just fit this on here, and there you go. Let me just move the camera around. So yeah, that's what it looks like. I like that a lot. I think that looks pretty cool. And I angled it so it's pointing up a little. And so what I'm going to do now is going to be actually quite a bit of work to do, because I haven't used this particular putty before. But yeah, it's all. Let me just remove that. I haven't attached any of these fins on there. They're just kind of snapped on in place. So what I'm going to do is add some Tamiya Epoxy Putty. I tried the Citadel green stuff and it works pretty well, and my brother got me this. Now this is why it's in a Rubbermaid. I actually went and borrowed this from him.
with all these putties, this is what you do. This is wax paper, and whenever you're done with your putty, you dip this in water, and you basically soak it in the water, and then you put it on top, and it'll keep this stuff from drying out. So if you have this stuff, do that. It's kind of like a wet palette thing, but it works pretty well. So I need quite a bit of this stuff here, and this is supposed to be the smooth kind. And so what I'm also going to do here, this has been super glued in, but it has to be filed down. It's sticking out a little bit. I have to go grab a metal file and carefully sand that off. And then I'm actually going to use more epoxy putty in there when I get to it. I'm going to worry about this base for now. There. That's where I put it. I need my scissors. So I think I'm going to need quite a bit of this stuff for first batch. So this is how this stuff works. And Citadel makes similar product. They call it green stuff. It's kind of yellow and blue, and you mix it together and it turns green, and it works pretty well. I was quite surprised. But you need a trick for this stuff. You need to keep it wet. So I have a bowl of water here, and I'm actually going to just dunk it in there really quick. There, that's perfect. So now you knead it together. Keep it wet. If it starts getting sticky, that's your signal to add more water. In fact, if you haven't used this stuff in a while, like with the wax paper on top, to keep it moist, you should moisten it once a month, regardless of whether or not you've used it. Otherwise, you will dry the stuff out. And this stuff, I think, may have been sitting on the shelf a while. This could take me a while to get it going, because it's pretty tough stuff, man. Adding water to it's not going to hurt it, because you're basically working it out. I think if you let it soak in there for 5 minutes, it might ruin it, but keeping it wet like this, you're supposed to do that, because like I said, it becomes quite sticky later on. So I think I've mixed this. Looks pretty mixed, and it's getting tight again, tough. Yeah, that's about it. Just throw this out. So, come on. All right. So, yeah, this needs to be thinner. A little bit of plastic in that. Okay. And let's I pushed it off and then I pulled it right back out again. Ouch. Go away. There we go. Okay. Yep, there I missed a spot. So I'm just gonna fill this in here. See if I can cut it off. Did it again. Because I'd like to try and get it like as smooth as I can. So it's not even getting in the hole. Okay, so I think I got it now. Come on. There we go. That's how I want it. And there's that stupid piece of plastic again. A little red bit of plastic. There. Leave me alone. And I'm actually going to kind of make a cap like this. And I'll sand this off later. I'm not too worried about that. So, it nearly stuck to the tissue there. So what to do with the rest of this stuff, I want to put it on the bottom here. Just like, exactly like this. Just so that this is all, let me move this out of the way. I spilled a lot of water already. There we go. Just to reinforce this whole thing on the inside. You're not gonna see on the inside. So that is Tamiya Epoxy Putty. It's pretty good stuff. I like it. And I'm gonna go clean up the rest of the Yamato.